Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for hanging with me on this Thursday. So creature baits, Craws style baits are going to be a big player the next 2 months. This is a springtime gem, and it seems like a lot of the days when those fish are really locking on or close to those bedding areas, these are the only baits you need. So I'm going to show you what I really like to use when those fish are either still a little bit in the pre-spawn, a lot of fish are spawning, but you don't have a population of fish that have really pushed into the post-spawn, or if they have, those aren't the ones you're fishing for. So you're fishing for mostly spawners or fish that are going to be on cover. I like smaller creature style baits, and I'm not a huge fan of the Craws style baits just yet. So you're probably close to this phase. If you're not there yet, a week of warm weather and you're going to be in this phase where males are moving up. Males can tell you a lot about what will be there tomorrow, the next day after that. So I want to be getting bites. That's my biggest thing. So when I go to a bigger soft plastic, I feel like I might not be getting as many bites. I want to find every stretch where females are heading. So a lot of times that's just going to be males that will tell you that. The other reason I like these smaller baits when I know a lot of fish are spawning is if you ever watch a fish on a bed with a bigger bait, and a lot of times you need a bigger bait to get those fish to react, but if you do watch them, a lot of times they're grabbing the back of it, they're getting the pinchers, they're not getting anywhere near the hook. So when I'm just blind flipping down the bank, I want to make sure that these fish are getting the whole bait. I really like one that swims. If I'm going to be swimming it, casting it, you may have a line of grass, then some wood, then some more grass, some isolated cover in there as well. You don't have to just flip it. You can swim it around. If I'm really seeing that fish are locking on cover and I really want to just keep that bait on the cover, I'm going to go with more of my beaver style gliding action type bait. But the biggest thing for me is lock these two in my hand. I will figure out in a few hours or a full day, whatever, which one of these is the one that I'm going to use. And then that's it. I'll just roll with that. Then I got to figure out what size weight. Now, as we get into a lake that just has giant fish on it, a lot of times you will have to go with your bigger bait. That's just, I think, an obvious thing. Bigger baits around bigger fish. It's a more natural forage a lot of the times, and you have to go with that. If you're trying to see a fish on a bed and see your bait in that bed, a lot of times you have to go to a big tube or a big Craws style bait. Again, if you're fishing for 8 and 9 pounders all day, lucky you, a bigger Craws style bait is probably your best option. But if you're not, and you're catching a lot of like 2 pounders and 1.5 pound males mixed in with your occasional 5, 6, 7 pounder, that's when I really like these 4-inch creature style baits. Now, I am a big fan of this bait in the summer. I like this bait in the fall. I like to put it on the back of a 1-ounce jig and flip it in the grass. This bait is also going to be one of my players when I realize that a lot of the fish are either post-spawn and just the very tail end of the spawn. I like a big soft plastic. I think it does a really good job at imitating bluegill. That's what a lot of your fish in the post-spawn are feeding on, and that's just what I go with. So break out your full-size brush hogs if you know a lot of your fish are done. A lot of them are in that funky mood where they just want one big meal before they head out to the main river or just get offshore. But in the post-spawn, I'm all about the bigger stuff. I'm not so much worried about them not getting the bait when they're in the post-spawn. A lot of times when you get bites from those sickly looking, big head, small body post-spawn fish, they've got it way down their throat and you're going to hook them every time. So I'm not so much worried about them just nipping at the claws or something like that. But that's what I'm going with this time of year. I hope that helps you guys catch some more fish. Good luck to you, and I'll see you on the water.